Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you may be in the world. And welcome to race number 3 of the PRL GT3 Endurance series, of course powered by XM Racing. And we are here today at the circuit of Silverstone. The drivers are out for qualifying already. We joined a bit late here today. That's because there were some technical issues behind the scenes that we wanted to resolve before we went live, but we are here now and we are looking on for qualifying with these drivers. Our drivers immediately out on the track. Collision there already between the number 135 at the Platinum Racing Academy team. That spun, of course, on the exit of 5. Welcome all. We're at Circuit of Silverstone. What a track this is. I'm very excited to welcome you all once again. We've been away for quite a while here at the Platinum Racing League channel. Not a lot has happened since before Christmas here. So I hope you all had a happy Christmas and a happy New Year. And I hope all your wishes may come true for 2023. 20 minutes of qualifying here at the Circuit of Silverstone. Yesterday I've been working hard to get the championship standings ready. Sadly, I have to inform you that the championship standings are not ready and that they have not been saved by the program. So there will not be a championship standings. I can quickly go over them for you. That's of course not a problem. I will do that now immediately once we get to it. There we go. The standings are as follows in the 3-hour endurance series here. In the pros, it is the GazX team Lamborghini leading together with the XBD Emerald Endurance team. The GazX team Lamborghini is here with us today. Let me try and quickly find them for you. Of course, in the race that is a little bit more easy. There we go. This is their Mercedes team. The other GazX team, they are in the AM class. The other team is the team we're looking at now. Daniel Zoma is qualifying in that team, the number 111 Lamborghini. They are leading the championship together with the XBD Emerald team. In third, actually second then in that championship, is Astro Racing Agenzia Moderna. They look very quick. They looked very quick in practice, and they look very quick now. Rucano Racing is in fourth, Valkyrie X-Hype in fifth. Cotega Squadra Corse in 6th, Euromaster Esports in 7th, MRP Sim Racing in 8th. 9th is the AZR Motorsports by 4 Gamers. Then we have the Rockar Esports Team Orange in 10th on 0 points. That is not correct. As far as I know, Boosted Motorsports in P11 ahead of Trackside Night Riders in 12th, both on 15 points though. Absolute Motorsport Aslet #2 in 13th. 14 is the Absolute Motorsport Aslet Junior team. And in 15th we have the Absolute Motorsport Aslet #1 on 12. Together with the Absolute Motorsport Aslet Junior team. On 10 points in 17th we have Armamentario Racing Team. Ahead of Platinum Racing Team Red. Push and Box Tifosi in 19th. 20th Absolute Motorsport SRP. Both those teams on 6 points. And then we have Race Anywhere Sim Sports in 21st on 3 points ahead of Skekstorp Racing by Van Gilze in 22nd on 2 points. And then both Platinum Racing Team Academy and Simcraft Podcast Performance Esports both on 1 point. Carbono Waka Esports, Rockar Esports Team Green, Jeopardy Esports, Portugal iRacing Team by ProSimtech, NJB Performance by NF CAD. Portugal iRacing Team by Devoy and Portugal iRacing Team by FTW, all on 0 points. Then we move on to the AM Championship, where we find Valhalla Motorsports in first together with Proto Sim Esports, both on 38 points. Then we have MBG2 Esports in third on 35 together with Boosted Sim Sport. TBC in fourth as well on 35. Both MBG Esports Blue and Sport Vision 2020 are on 15 or are on 32 points. Trackside Esports Orange is on 30 points. Turma du Fondea on 24 points in 9th. TRX says hello everybody, hello Don, welcome everyone. Once again, like I said, it's amazing to have you all here. We'll continue with the standings in a second. Let's first get this up for grabs here. We have, of course, a lot to go over here. And you can see the brands of the cars on the left hand side. You can see the team names. And of course the gap that the cars have to the pole sitting car. Let's continue with the standings for now. Firebird, which I think it needs to be Firebird, but it is a mistake in the spelling. So we're going to call them Firebird Sim Racing in 23rd. 046 USA XNL on 21 points in 11th. GazX Team Mercedes in 12th on 18 points. Ahead of Project Racing in 13th on 15 points. 14th is Minimotor Racing on 10 points. Rider Engineering Purple on 9 points in 15th. Ahead of Rider Engineering Pink on 8 points in 16th. 17th is Destiny Racing Team PRL on 9 points as well. So that's not correct. Rider Engineering Esports are in 18th on 7 points. Then we have Turmo de Fondea, Manos, SPE7X LTC, and Turma do Fondea BMW all on 0 points. That's the championship standings so far. Let's look at the qualifying, who's on pole position. The live timing is not available, sadly, for this race. For next race, though, it will be available. That's because, well, some people ruined the fun for others. And we had the live timing project ruined by other people that tried to get into the file via the live timing. So that's why we chose not to share that anymore. So, of course, sorry for the inconvenience already. But that's the reason for our doings. So, yeah, looking at qualifying then, it looks like this team, the Valkyrie X-Type team, is in 2nd overall. We are now 7.5 minutes almost into this qualifying session. A 3-hour race ahead of us though, so not too much that we will see from this quali. Of course, you want to start well in a 3-hour race. It's not like it's a 4, or it's not like it's a 12-hour or 24-hour race where qualifying literally doesn't matter in terms of your finishing position. You want to start well here, because making up 20 seconds from starting from the back of the field to P1 is a lot in a 3-hour race if you don't have a second or so over someone else, especially on a track as long as this. So you do want to be starting well here in qualifying. Well, saying that you want to start well, starting well is the Euromasters Esports team. They are at the moment at the top in qualifying. A team that I expected more from as well is the GazX Team Lamborghini. As I say that, jump up into P3. There we go. Quite a good lap time by Daniel Zoma. 58.5. That's a team that I expect to do very well here today in this race. Of course, Mirko Bortolotti and Daniel Zoma in that team. And that team could well prove to be a team for the win here. They look quick here in the qualifying already, and let me tell you, they will be quick in the race as well if practice is anything to go by. But of course, it doesn't matter really until you get to the race. Something that hasn't changed since the last time we were here is the fact that the Porsches are very quick at the top of the table. Something that has changed is the amount of Lamborghinis that we see. If I quickly go to the statistics that I have available to me, then it's clear that there are more cars than ever here with us from other brands. 2 Audis, 18 BMWs, 2 Ferraris, 16 Porsches, 3 Lamborghinis and 9 Mercedes AMGs, which in total leads to a 50-car field. Not all 50 cars are here with us today, sadly. Well, the amount of cars that we have with us, if I look at my timing screen at the moment, it looks like we have, well, about a 37 car grid, 37-38 for what I can see really quickly. So not all cars are here with us, but a good chunk of them are. Of course, everyone's still busy trying to see family of course, after this busy time, of course, Christmas and New Year. Like I said, I hope you all have had a happy New Year and a very good Christmas, and that all your wishes may come true in 2023. Of course, PRL is going to start to push on in 2023 as well, as is PEC. So, of course, next week is PEC as well. So the weeks are busy here now again on the Platinum Racing League YouTube channel. 14 of you here, of course, don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't so far, and subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss next week. Of course, the Platinum Endurance Championship is going to come to an end in that race, the last race of the season. And, well, it's a championship thriller there. Now, there we go. GazX Racing Team goes to the top on the overalls, half a second ahead of the Euromaster Esports team. Frau Prada is improving for that team across the line. What can he do? Can he jump up into pole position? Yes, he can. 2.5 tenths over GazX Team Lamborghini. That is a lot for the Euromaster Esports. Miles says, hi all. Hope all is well. Well, Miles, I hope all is well for you. And that the driver briefing has gone well. For the people who didn't know, Miles is doing the driver briefing and everything because Marnix is on a well-deserved vacation. He's coming back from his vacation, if I'm correct, already. So his vacation already has flown by for him and for everyone else. So I hope he had a lovely vacation. Of course, we wish him all the best on his vacation. As we know, Miles had to do that. So Milo did his driver briefing, and he was way too early with it. So he had to do 2 driver briefings. But hey, it's never bad to have 2 driver briefings because the drivers that were there in the first one just got a reassurance of what is and what isn't allowed in this series. So yeah, it's good to see Miles do that as well. And looking on then in qualifying, the first Audi we see is this one, the Push N Box Tifosi Audi. They are in 4th in the number 13. It looks like the first of the AM drivers, or the first of the AM cars, is this car, the Turma do Fondao, in 17th overall. That's the first AM car. At the moment, TRX, there are 37 or 38 cars on the grid with us here. If I look quickly, yeah, 37 cars are with us here today. Of course, that could be more, but the cars have to come quickly. Because qualifying is already almost over, 13 minutes into qualifying. So time is moving quick here with us today. Like I said, I'm going to point it again. I hope you've had an amazing time. I certainly did, and there's some big things coming from my side and for PRL in 2023. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Turbo do Fondea leading the GT3 AM class at the moment ahead of the Armamentario Racing Team. Try and say that one quickly in your free time. I'll bet you'll struggle with it. The gap to that team, if we go to sorting a bike class. There we go. That's the one I wanted. 600ths of a second to the AM class car. So that's what they are looking for. The gap from the quickest AM car to P16, only 1.4 seconds, so definitely not a lot. 159.7 for the first AM car, the Turma do Fondea. Someone that is improving is Luis Felipe Pena Gonzalez for the MBG Esports team. Last time around a 2:00.55 for that team. 8 tenths off of the pole position time from the Turma do Fondea team in the GT3 AM class. Mike Horder in P12 in the Lamborghini. One of the 3 Lamborghinis. I don't think the statistic is correct actually, because I can definitely see 4 Lamborghinis, 5 Lamborghinis even in the top, well, what is it, in the top 19? So that statistic that I just read to you is not correct. It says 3 Lamborghinis. But there are definitely 6 that I already can see. Sports Vision 2020 also in the Lamborghini. This is the Sport Vision Lamborghini off the track. That's not where you want to be going. But at the moment, with 5 minutes left here in qualifying, it is this team, the Euromaster Esports team, leading the way. The Rockar Esports team Orange, here we have them. They have entered with 2 teams here, the team Orange and the team Green. Liveries though, looking exactly the same. So that's going to be difficult for me to keep the difference between them, it looks like. Or that might just be the lighting that the orange for the orange team is a bit more orange. That's sort of orange in a sentence. But yeah, that is, I don't know if that's the case. Here we have them both. Here's the orange team. And then here's the green team. It looks exactly the same. So it's going to be difficult for me, if they are close, to try and, well, see which one is which. But I'm, of course, going to try and do my best here. Of course, there is no spotter guide as there was in the pack. The Platinum Endurance Championship for you available. But I can tell you for next season that will definitely be the case. So yeah, looking forward already to what next race has to bring, because that's going to be exciting. But before we do that, we have 3 hours of Silverstone, of course, ahead of us. Absolute Motorsport as a junior, they're in 17th in the pro class, 22nd overall. On that lap at the moment, time is trickling away for them, and they're not looking too good here, if I might say so myself. Because 17th in the pro class, 2.2 seconds off the pole position time here. Don't get me wrong, Silverstone, a very tricky circuit, making room for, I think, the Turma do Fondea car that is going past there. That is indeed the case. And Rockar Esports Team Green jumps up into P2. Immediately get jumps, by the way, by Valkyrie X-Hype. So all those cars, well, changing for second place, fighting over second place with the Euromaster Esports team. What a time they have put in, a 58.166. That is the quickest time I've seen so far today. The quickest time in practice was a 58.3. So that's a very quick lap time by the Euromaster Esports team. And I think that's not something that they are going to improve on shortly. However, they are improving in Sector 1. We're going to stay on board with them. Let's go on board with that team. Here we have them on board with the Porsche from the Euromaster Esports team. It's Porsche, Lamborghini, Audi. So it seems like the German brands are well known at the top of the table. Of course, Lamborghini, the only Italian brand in the top 6. Well represented there by the Rockar Esports team Green and the Gazax team Lamborghini. Through the first couple of sectors, purple in Sector 2 for the Euromaster Esports team for Fran Parada. That team, of course, is, if we look at the championship standings, was in the pro class not looking so good. They were in 7th, 10 points in the first race. So, of course, they didn't have the, I think they didn't start in time there for that race. So that's why they dropped so many points there in that first race. Of course, 17 points in the second. There we go. Now we see him on the bottom of your screen. Yellow in Sector 3. What is he going to be able to do in Sector 4? Comes through the sector time now. Yellow again, so not improving there. But that green and purple in Sector 1 and 2, you could well see him go further ahead at the top of the table. Valkyrie X-Hype has called it a day. They are not going to improve anymore. They are going to stay in P2 or going to go lower than that. Here we have Fran Parada for the Euromaster Esports. Is he going to improve on that time? Across the line. The answer is, he is not. Just a little bit slower. A team that is improving just in the nick of time is the Gazax team Lamborghini. Gets within 1.5 tenths of the Euromaster Esports team. And I don't think they have time to improve again. And they won't improve again. Daniel Zoma, a little bit of an oversteering moment, makes room for all the other cars. And this will be, I think, the top 3 as we head into the end of qualifying. This is the Audi that improves. The Carbono Waka Esports team just in time with 5 minutes left, or 5 seconds left on the clock. Improved to P5. Jose Manuel Gazan or Gazon improves for that team. That is qualifying over for you. And it's time, everyone, to go to the grid. What a qualifying we've had. Mornix in chat. By the way, Mornix, I just talked about you. You had a flight just... I don't know if you're home yet. But yeah, it's... I hope you've had an amazing end of your vacation. Qualifying is not over yet, though. The Valkyrie X-Hype has called it a day. Euromonster Esports, though, they have one last lap to do. And they're finishing that now. Rocker Esports Team Green, they are improving in Sector 3. Here they come across the line. Can they improve to P2, maybe? Or P3? The answer is... they cannot. Fran Parada for the Euromonster Esports team. The car that is in pole position at the moment there. Is that going to improve? He's purple in Sector 4. What can he do across the line? Can he improve his time? He doesn't need to. He's not going to be challenged by anyone. Absolute Motorsport Absolute 2 improves. So does the Euromonster Esports team. Goes even further ahead at the top of the table to assert their dominance in qualifying. 2.5 tenths almost to the GazX team Lamborghini. Carlos Moreira de la Chica across the line for the Astro Racing Agenza Moderna. I expected them to be quick because, well, to be honest, they were quickest in practice as well, but they just couldn't get there, and that is qualifying over for us. The only car out of grade is Juan Rodriguez. Here we see him coming across the line in the BMW. What can he do? He cannot improve. Doesn't get any closer to the Turma do Fondea. Cannot take the top 3 positions there. And now everyone is in the pits. That was qualifying for you. We have, however, a grid ready. Or do we not? Not at the moment. Michael Diaz-Gabi, welcome to the stream. Amazing to have you here. Well then, qualifying is over. We're now waiting until we get the result in. What a qualifying that was proving to be. Well, this Silverstone circuit is definitely proving to be a difficult one. Of course, the pole position time in the end was a 1:58.07. So we're almost into the 1:57s. Qualifying is over for us. There we go. There is the grid. And we have some time, of course, for the grid. There we go, we're on the back straight. Fran Parada will start on pole position ahead of Daniel Zoma for the GazX Racing Team Lamborghini Valkyrie competition in 3rd. Rocker Esports Team Green in 4th. Carbono Waka Esports in 5th. 6th, the Absolute Motorsport Acylate 2. Push and Box Tifosi in 7th. MRP Sim Racing in 8th. Absolute Motorsport Acylate 1 in 9th. 10th for the Rocker Esports Team Orange. Astro Racing Agenza Moderna starts from a P11. P12 for the Platinum Racing Team Orange. P13 for the Boosted Motorsports Team in the Lamborghini. The BMW of the XBD Emerald Endurance in P14. P50 for the Absolute Motorsport by SRP. B Esports Team is in 16th. That is AZR Motorsports ahead of Turma do Fondoa. Armamentario Racing Team in 18th. Valhalla Motorsport in 19th. 20th Firebird Team. MBG Esports 21st. Protosim 2 in 22nd. GazX Team Mercedes in 23rd. 24th for the Absolute Motorsport Acylate. And then we have in 25th, we have MBG Esports Blue. Destiny Racing Team PRL 26th. 27th for Skankstrop Racing Van Geelze. 28th for Platinum Racing Academy Team. Sports Vision 2020 in P29. Boosted Sim Sports in P30. Trackside Esports Orange in 31st. 046 Racing USA.nl in 20 or in 32nd. 33rd is the Trackside Night Riders with David Amici in the car. Frederick Guldborg for Project Racing in 34th. Firebird Team Endurance in 35th. Absolute Motorsport Ace in 36th. And last but not least on the grid, Iwan Bremer for the Platinum Racing Team Red. Let's take a look at the front of the field. Here we have them. The drivers of today. Well, the safety car pulls into the pit lane. It's now all on Fran Parada for the Euromaster Esports team to lead us away to the green flag. Through the last couple of corners we go. And there we go, Fran Parada's off. It's green for the 3 hours of Silverstone. Daniel Soma gets a good start as well for the Lamborghini. Behind that, Antoine Morlet for the Valkyrie X-Type. Also a great start for them. A little bit further back, it's the Rocker Esports team in the Lamborghini as well, ahead of Juan Manuel Cazon in the Audi, who has Alessandro Porta looking around the outside of him. Couldn't quite get there. Around down the inside he goes now off the left-hander. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. That's a move done for him. Very decisive there by Alessandro Porta to get up into P5. If we look at P1 in the AM class, there we have him. Jansen Ferreira for the Turma do Fondoa. They stayed in first position from their qualifying position. Armand Montario Racing Team, they are still in second ahead of the Firebird Racing Team in the Mercedes, or in the BMW, excuse me, behind the Mercedes of the Armand Montario Racing Team. All has stayed the same here. It's a very timid start. It looks like everyone has got through cleanly, and that is very good from everyone. Ivan Bremer, though, has not started. Neither did the Firebird Sim Racing Team of Majek Meleres. And Alessandro Brigati also didn't start. Angel Mora is the one we are looking at the moment. He is in 8th in the YAM class, looking once again at the front of the field. This is the Euromaster Esports team ahead of the GazX team Lamborghini. Well, the first lap is almost done for these drivers. A clean first lap is something that we, well, haven't said often in a field this big, but everyone has behaved, it seems like. And Daniel Soma is now chasing down Fran Parada. Here he is, Daniel Soma for the GazX team Lamborghini. This is the battle for the lead. 410s in it at the moment, so well within the slipstream range is Daniel Soma. Of course, Mikko Bortruti will be shouting him on. This is a team, like I said at the beginning, that is very much going to be there till the end for the victory. It's a team that is going to challenge Euromaster Esports for that victory. Euromaster is, of course, 7th in the championship because they had a very bad first race. Pepe Kersten seems to have gone off track. That team is dropping down. Here's Pepe Kerstens. If you go off board, that car seems to be looking good. Let's see what has happened to that car. Here we see Pepe Kerstens. Is he just going off track? Yeah, there it is. Loses 1 position with that. 2, even 3 maybe. Or does he slot back in ahead of the OFS? No, he does not. The Ferrari goes by as well. And there goes the trackside Night Riders team. Slots in ahead of that team. And continues his way again. But apart from that, I have to say it's a very, very clean start from everyone. And the gap at the front of the field between the Euromaster Esports team and the GazX team Lamborghini still at 2 or 4/10 of a second. I expect that gap to stay as close as it is for the remainder of this first stint. Jose Manuel Gazon lost that position to Alessandro Porta. But apart from that, the top 10 has stayed exactly the same as it was in qualifying. So P5 now for Alessandro Porta and the Absolute Motorsport Athlete 2. And Carbona Waka Esports in 6th, dropped down 1 position. The other movers in the top 18 is Stephen Bird, Platinum Racing Team Orange, has gone up 1 position in the Audi. Here they are in P11. In the Audi, of course, Carlos Moreira de la Chica. It's gone down 1 position for the Astro Racing Agenza Moderna. Porsche. But apart from that, in the top 18, that is the only teams that have switched position. And that is courtesy, of course, maybe of the early start that Euromaster Esports did. But it seems like people are moving a little bit further down in the field as well. The leader of the AB class still, the Turma do Fondoa. Of course, it's a 3-hour race. 5 minutes are gone of that already. And well, I have to say, I did not expect it to fly by this quickly. It's already the first couple of laps have flown by. And I think personally that, well, they kept it easy, they kept it slow, they took their time, and it seems like Famparara is now making a little bit of a gap to the guys behind them as well. 17 of you here, like I said, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, because you do not want to miss the Platinum Endurance Championship finale next week, the 14th of January. Where I will be there as well. Rocker is dropping down the order. Where is that gone wrong? That is a big crash into Cobbs. And well, let's take a look at what happened to that team. That team is certainly going to be out of the race here. Michael Almeida in that car. This seems to be where it has all gone wrong. All on his lonesome. Car breaks out, and that is backhand into the barrier. That is a big crash for the Lamborghini, and that is the Esports Team Orange off into the gravel and back into the pit lane. Also off the track was Michael Almeida. That is exactly the same as what we were looking on before. This is the one. Jeffrey has gone off track. That is in the Mercedes. That is fighting with the Platinum Racing Academy team. That looks like a little bit of contact there with that team. Jeffrey Reinhardt for the Skankstrom Racing Van Gilde team comes back on track. But apart from that, that was everything that has happened here this early on. Ferran Parada under pressure by the Gazax team Lamborghini. This is a battle that I think, and I said this before, is going to go on for quite a long time here. Daniel Zoma, 4 times, as long as he can keep Euromaster Esports under pressure, maybe save a little bit of fuel and try and get out of them maybe in the pit stop cycle. As long as he can do that, he's in a good position staying where he is now. Everyone is still within the slipstream of each other down to P6 Carbono, Waka Esports. This is a very big train. Here is Leandro Mendes. You can see up ahead is the Gazax team Lamborghini, the Euromaster Esports team and the Valkyrie X-Type in third. Rocker Esports team green in the Lamborghini. So it's Porsche Lamborghini, Porsche Lamborghini Porsche, Audi Porsche, Audi Porsche. So as you can see, Porsche is well represented in the top 10. There are 5 Porsches in the top 10, 3 Audis and 2 Lamborghinis. So a lot of German brands there, and then you have 2 Italian manufacturers or 2 Italian cars in the name of Lamborghini, and both have come in the name of Rocker Esports Team Green and Gazax Team Lamborghini. Leandro Mendes is trying to chase down a Valkyrie X-Type. Not as successful in that as he might want to be. Here is the Mercedes ahead, or behind now, the Firebird Sim Racing. Tormado Fondea has dropped down. Jansen Ferreira is in P4. Michael Diaz Gabi says, Vai Jansen. Well, not the best position for him to be in at the moment. He is in 4th in that class. Something has happened there. But not something that is very well seen. Oh, that is the Audi of Stephen Bird. Is off on the left-hand side. Let's see how that happened. Here we have Stephen Bird. We're on board with the Audi. Into the right, or into the left hand of the car, just snaps away from him. Does he keep it out of the barrier? Yes, he does. At least he keeps it out of the barrier. But that was a weird one. Car just gets away underneath him. And nothing he could do from that point on. Continues his way. And can luckily for him, continue away again. Platinum Racing Team, they have now dropped down, however, though, to... They're not in the top 30, if I'm correct. No, they are. They are in P19 overall. There we go. There we have Platinum Racing Team Orange looking to come back. Looking to get ahead of the Anfield again. Turbo do Fundão. They're not going to let this opportunity slip to get closer to the Pro to Sim Esports. That's the yellow BMW you see up ahead of the Porsche. That is a battle in class. That's the battle for the last podium spot in that class. Stephen Bird, however, though, is now looking to try and gain some positions back after that unfortunate spin he had in the beginning. But no crashes as of yet with two teams involved in it. That is a different line that Stephen Bird takes through there. Also a different line for Jansen Ferreira. Is he going to dive down to the inside? Not quite. Stephen Bird gets close under braking, but not quite close enough to try and make a move. We had, of course, that crash for the Rockar Team Orange into Cops. But apart from that, no big crashes to call off as of yet. There we go. Gonna try and go down the inside. Can't quite make it. Stephen Bird. Gonna try down the inside. He's driving different lines to see where he can get past. But it looks like he's just a little bit too far behind now. And Jansen Ferreira, can he make that move on the BMW? Pulls out of the slipstream. Pulls out to the left to say, I'm going to try and go for this move. But Jansen Ferreira looks to be a little bit too far back. And the BMW of the Pro to Sim Esports team goes wide though. But you can't afford to do that into this corner, into the right hander now. Not quite able to go down the inside. Down the inside goes the Audi of Stephen Bird though. They're side by side now. They're going to go side by side into Cops if no one is going to lift. Stephen Bird doesn't seem to get the exit that the Turbo do Fundão car has, but he's going to try and go for it up the inside. And they lift, and now they have to try and stick behind Stephen Bird and have to try and get closer to the Pro to Sim Esports team together with Stephen Bird. They have lost quite a lot of time with that. 5/10 now is the gap for Cristiano Rocha to Platinum Racing Team car. Firebird Sim Racing Team, they are in 16th. Ahead of the Pro to Sim Esports team, but quite far ahead. There he goes. Stephen Bird tries to go for a move. Can't quite make it though, and he has to stick behind the Pro to Sim Esports team. Just keep in mind, the longer he has to stay behind this BMW, the more time he's gonna lose at the end of the race. Already 12 minutes into this race, and he's losing and losing and losing. Of course, that spin was no due to his own fault. The car just snapped away underneath him, and looked like to no particular reason the car did that. This is, of course, the point where that happened 2 laps ago. Let's see if he can stay close now. And the car doesn't snap away underneath him, though he takes a little bit of a wider line. There he goes, down the inside. Does he go wide? Yes, he does, but you can't afford to do that. That is up into P17 for that team. Looking back at the battle at the front of the field. Still very close between Valkyrie Exile, Kazakh Team Lamborghini, Rockar Team Green, and Euromaster Esports at the front of the field. Absolute Motorsport Absolute 2 also still involved in it, and as is the Carbono Waka Esports Audi. A second between P1 and P3 here in the first 15 minutes of this race. I have to say I'm impressed. I didn't expect the gap to stay this close between the top 6 for this long. 3.7 seconds is the gap in the end. For the people that were wondering, yes, it is me on my own here today for the 3 hours. But hey, there's no better day than spending the time. Turbo do Fundão is dropping down the order. And this is why they're into the gravel. To get together with Luis Felipe Peña Gonzalez for the MBG Esports 2. Let's take a look at what happened there. Jansen Ferreira, here we have him, started pole position. This is the pole sitter in that class. This is where it happened. Into Cobbs. They were side by side. And that is where it happened. So unfortunate for Luis Felipe Peña Gonzalez. Down the inside, it just turned in, it looked like. And nothing he could do there. Luis Felipe Peña Gonzalez. That's unfortunate for him. As it is for our pole sitter, of course. Here we have our pole sitter, Jansen Ferreira, in the Turma do Fundão car. Now in 30th overall. Remember, they were in pole position in the AM class. Now first in the AM class is the Armamentario Racing Team. In 15th overall, they have a 3-second gap to the Pro 2 Sim Esports BMW. Here is that BMW, the yellow BMW that was fighting, of course, with the Turma do Fundão car. Stephen Bird gaining on Ilya Dudenstein. Difficult name to pronounce. If you know how to pronounce this name, let me know in chat. Ilya Dudnitsin in 15th at the moment. That is the team, like I said, leading the Armamentario Racing Team. Back to the battle at their front. 1.5 tenths is the gap between the GasX team Lamborghini and the Euromos Esports. Is he going to go for a move? Not quite. He stays behind, sticks behind. Let's go on board with that team to see if there's any fuel saving going on. Let's listen together with me if there's any fuel saving going on board with Daniel Zoma. Fastest lap has just been posted by the Valkyrie Axa behind this. 0.3 of a second that gap now is to the GasX Team Lamborghini car. The gap to P6, the Absolute Motorsport Athlete 2 is opening up a little bit. That Porsche just seems to be quicker in the low speed corners than the Euromaster Esports Porsche is. That could just be set up, that could just be car related, I don't know. I of course haven't driven the Lamborghini nor Porsche lately in order to say that, but 5 tenths is the gap. That's a bit wide from the Euromaster Esports team, but they're going to get all that time back on exit. 2 different lines you saw in action there. Through Woodcut. There's a little bit of lifting going on for Cobbs, but that is normal in these GT3s. Let's listen now on board with GasX Team Lamborghini. If there's any lifting going on, it's a Maggots, Beckett's. What a sequence of corners this is. And the Chapel. No lifting going on there to know of. Is there any clutching going on at the end of the straight? One of the main fuel saving points. No fuel saving going on with Daniel Zoma. So he is just full out, bang on pace. But the Valkyrie X side might be doing something different. Let's go on board with them and see what they are doing. Lovely camera shot on the front of this Porsche. Battle for the top 10. Getting into the top 10 is the Push N Box Tifosi. Oh, they are already in the top 10 ahead of the XBD Emerald Sim Racing, of course. The Push N Box Tifosi, Osman Aslan Sert, has dropped down a couple of positions. They were, or they started in P7, are now in P10. So not where they want to be, definitely not. Osman Aslan. Now the one in P10. Carlos Morera de la Chica in P9. for the Astro Racing Agenda Moderna team. I expected more. I've said this a couple of times, but it just seems like they're not at the pace where they usually are at compared to the others. Taking a look back at the front of the field, because there is really close between those two. Once again, Daniel Zoma seems to get a better exit out of Chapel. The Rocker Esports Team Green has dropped down 2 positions. They are facing backwards. It is all gone from good to worse, or from good to bad to even worse for the Rocker Esports teams. One of their teams out because of a crash in Cops. The other team dropped down to 12th in the standings because of a spin, and let's see how that happened. Right now, Leandro Mendez in that car. This is how it happened. I expect just on his own, touching the curb on the inside. Yeah, there we go. There the car's gone. Luckily avoids everyone else. Good avoidance by the Audi and the Porsche. But this Lamborghini's dropped out of the top 6. And with that, it is now only the top 4, it seems like, or the top 3 within close manner of each other. Here we go. That is the top 3. This is Leandro Mendez in P12 now. Armamentario Racing Team is now a pro team. That is good to know. Because then we can change that. There we go. Armamentario Racing Team, now a pro team, so it's Firebird Sim Racing leading the way in the AM class. Thank you for letting us that know, Miles, and for letting the viewers know as well. Well, 21 minutes into this race. Let's take a look back at the front of the field. The Valkyrie XI Porsche. Let's take a listen on board once again if there's any fuel saving going on. Doesn't sound like it from my point of view with this Porsche. The top 3 seem to be all out, just banging down lap after lap after lap. The only thing that I can think of now is the Euromaster Esports team saving fuel and just being able to do this pace whilst saving fuel, which I don't think is the case. Just a purple lap time has been posted last time round by Antoine Morlet in the Valkyrie XI car, the car that we're looking with right now, a 159.25. A lift maybe at the end of this straight. No. No lift for Valkyrie XI. But I have to say, if the gap is going to be this close between the top 3 at the end of the race, I don't know what to say really then, because, well, 3 cars have stayed within a second of each other now for multiple laps at a track that definitely doesn't lend itself to close racing, especially through this sector we're coming up to now, because dirty air is a big factor through this section. Of course, in GT3s that is not really the case. Of course, dirty air is not as apparent as it is in open wheeler or downforce cars, but there we go, 8/10 the gap opens up to, and then that slipstream closes it all down again. There we have on the left hand side the intervals now of the drivers and the teams, so you can see every team to their respective team ahead of them. Valkyrie XI, no lifting going on there. Let's take a look on board with our leaders if there's any lifting going on. Well, they don't... It doesn't sound like they're flat out. That Porsche engine is not singing as it was before. 59.1, fastest lap time of the race last time round. No lifting going on at the end of the straight there. Euromonster Esports is picking up the pace now. And the battle behind this, Valkyrie X-Hype is pressurizing the GazX team Lamborghini. And further back though, this is Pepe Kerstens going for a move on Travis Rowe. The Sports Vision 2020 car around the outside is going to have to make it stick. Oh, not quite there. As the outside as well for the next left-hander. Can he make it stick around the outside? You can run it around the outside here, but and then you have the inside for the right-hander. Can Pepe Kerstens do that? He can't quite, and Travis Rowe slots in ahead of the Trackside Esports Orange BMW. Big fight going on here in this class as well. Some of these cars are not in class. David Omissi is in the Pro class, finding himself down in the fight at the bottom of the AM class, so that's not where he would want to be. Meanwhile, Travis Rowe down the inside goes Pepe Kerstens off on Cops. Pepe Kerstens has to defend on his own team. The inside for the right hand. This is a beautiful fight between the BMW and the Lamborghini of Sports Vision 2020 and Trackside Esports Orange. Trackside Esports Orange just... Pepe Kerstens gets out ahead now. And he'll be looking to try and build a gap now. Luis Felipe Peña Gonzalez. He is still trying to make his way up the order. Jeffrey Reinhardt is also involved in this Mercedes. Johnny Cassie for the 046 USA XNL team. They are down in P33, 10 seconds off the next car ahead of them. That car looks clean. I can't see anything happening to that car, so that's a weird one. Pepe Kerstens now has cleared that Travis Rowe Sports Vision 2020 car together with David Omissi. He's hanging on in the slipstream of Pepe Kerstens. It looks like the pro team is quicker. I don't know why Pepe Kerstens doesn't let the pro team by. Last lap time was quicker by Pepe Kerstens, of course, but that was in traffic whilst fighting, so that isn't really a representative lap time. Meanwhile, going back to the front of this field, this battle is within 5/10 now between these teams. There's nothing, but absolutely nothing in between these teams. And how incredible is this to watch? Half an hour gone now in this 3-hour race. Well, in P2 it is still Daniel Zoma. In P1 it is still the Euromaster Esports team, and in P3 it is still Antoine Morlet for the Valkyrie X-Hype team. Well, still no lifting going on by Antoine Morlet for the Valkyrie X-Hype. A lot of people are improving their lap times. One of them is the GazX team Mercedes, now in 4th in the AM class. And they are definitely fuel saving. Listen to that. Big clutching for Marinko Yardanovsky. Difficult to pronounce, I have to say, but yeah. In P20 they are overall. P4 though in the AM class. So not too bad there by the Kazakhs team Mercedes. Look at that big clutching going on by Marinko Yardanovsky. He's not making it easy for me with these last names, but he is saving fuel. MBG Esports is in a battle with Boosted Sim Sports TBC. Here we have them, the BMW of Boosted Sim Sport. As the drivers at the front of the field keep posting quickest lap times, one after another, and it seems like this battle has seen its best days. The closest battle we have on track is this one. Stephen Bird, Platinum Racing Team Orange, getting closer now. Of course, we saw him having that spin at the beginning. Still the best class, still the best classed Platinum Racing team, because the Platinum Racing Academy team is down in 17th in the pro class. Can he make a move down the inside, maybe with the Boosted Motorsport Lamborghini? Ahead of this is the Racker Esports team green Lamborghini, that Lamborghini that spun through Megan's Beckett's and continued his way again. But it seems like Stephen Bird is quick here. After that spin, he has found his way again. And it seems like he's going to be working his way up the order in the Audi. We'll stick on board for now with Stephen Bird. 3 Cops. That Audi just seems to be so much better suited to Cops than that Lamborghini does. Maybe now has Stephen Bird a chance with Slipstream on the Boosted Motorsport Lamborghini. That car, of course, has Slipstream as well. So he's not going to get close enough. Maybe now on the run down to the last chicane. Going to try and get a look down the inside. He's going to make the move stick. And he's passed on the right-hand side still. There we are. We're clear now. Platinum Racing Team Orange up into P13. Next car for him to chase down is the AZR Motorsport by 4 Gamers. That is the Porsche we see right up ahead of us. The gap, 9/10 of a second. Meanwhile, though, the battle at the front of the field still this close. Still within a second is the top 3. I'm amazed by how close these guys have been racing now for I don't know how long. And, well, they're still doing it. Half an hour gone now in this 3-hour race. The 3 hours of Silverstone. If you haven't noticed yet that we were in Silverstone, because, well, what a track this is. Through Cops we go again. Antoine Morlet has to draw back a bit now from the Lamborghini. What's Daniel Zoma going to be able to do? He gets a good run. Can he make the move stick? Maybe. No, he's not going to go for a move on the Porsche. He's going to stick behind. Antoine is so much quicker, it seems, through the right-hander there than Daniel Zoma ahead of us is. Seems to be so quick. Seems to gain loads and loads of time through the right-hander. Then seemingly loses that all again in the last chicane. Leandro Mendes, the next best Lamborghini, of course. The Lamborghini that spun not too long ago now. Lamborghini that spun in Megan's Beckett. Here he is coming across the line now. That's the gap that the guys at the front of the field already have. 5.4 seconds to Carbono Waka Esports in the Audi. Here we have them. I must say, I like that livery that the Carbono Waka Esports team is running. The gap between the top three now was for a second above 1 second. That is incredible after, I don't know how long. They've been keeping this up for 15 minutes now. To be within a second of each other with 3 cars, you could just see it spike above that. But this is the car in fourth. The car that wants to gain because of the guys ahead of them fighting, but they are not doing so. They are also playing the long game. They're playing the long haul. If they are in it till the end, if they are this close at the end of the race, there's a big chance that the Gazax team, Lamborghini, Valkyrie X Hype and Euromaster Esports team are all in with a chance at the victory. And if there's one thing you do not want at the end of the race, is being out of a chance of victory. There we see the top 3 just coming through at the front of shot. And then here we have the Carbono Waka Esports Audi. Alessandro Porta for the Absolute Motorsport Absolute #2 team in P5. That team had to avoid contact with the Rockar Esports team green Lamborghini. Purple lap time by the Euromaster Esports team and a green lap time by all the others. Of course, sticking in that slipstream with the Euromaster Esports team. MRP Sim Racing is right behind Alessandro Porta. Here we have them. Of course, these are the champions from Season 1. Is this team of Platinum Endurance Championship, and of course looking good in the championship in Season 2 as well is MRP. Of course, a different team there, but this is the same team, different branding here in the GT3 Endurance League. 2 minute 00.1 for the Firebird Sim Racing team. And with that, they increased their lead over P2 in the AM class, the Proto Sim Esports team, by 0.8 of a second. And that is big. If they do that every lap, they're going to have a big gap in no time. And if there's one thing you want in endurance racing, it's certainty that you are looking good in your class at least. Martin Ray for the MRP Sim Racing. Creating a little bit of a gap for himself now. To the Absolute Motorsport Absolute 1. 3/10s only though. So it seems like they are dropping back. Valhalla is having a big fight as well. Here we have them with the Turma de Fondao. Don't know how to exactly pronounce that, but it's the Lamborghini. We see the Valhalla Motorsports team. Turma do Fondao, of course, had that crash in Cobbs. Seems like there was a little bit of netcode involved in it. But apart from that, that crash was, well, very unfortunate for the team. Project Racing in the only Ferrari that is in the top 6 in any class is doing a pretty good job. Frederick Goldborg in that car, 5.2 seconds back on the Destiny Racing Team PRL. Darren Rutherford in PA. The one we're looking at now, like I said, Valhalla Motorsports in P8 in the AM class. Turma do Fondao in P7. The one this team is chasing down. Back to the battle at the front, the purple lap time last time round by Daniel Zoma at 58.4. These guys just keep improving. Just a reminder, we're getting to the end of the fuel stint now, yes, but with less fuel than this on board, with new tires in qualifying, the drivers were doing 58.07. That was the pole position time. We're already down to a 58.62 in the race, and that is with all tires, and still I think 1/4 of your tank left. So that's not bad for this point in the at this point in time in the race. So looking good for strong pace. We're down to a 58.4 for the Kazakh team Lamborghini. They are improving again. These guys just keep improving their pace. It's unbelievable. They just keep upping and upping and upping it. And that of course comes with the fact that the fuel load drops. And there we have it, a 58.41 by the Valkyrie X-Type team. These teams just battling and battling for fastest laps. Of course, it doesn't get you anything at the moment. But yeah, well, they're quick. Oh, that looked quick there for Daniel Zoma into the left-hander. Different lines there between the two. A lot of time gained on entry by the Kazakh team Lamborghini. But also a lot of time lost on the exit eventually for Daniel Zoma. Giving a little bit of breathing space now to the Euromos Esports Porsche. Different lines there once again through Woodcut. The gap is coming down rapidly again. Euromos Esports 3.5 tenths the gap. Let me know in chat what you guys think of it, of this battle. Because I think it's absolutely amazing to have 3 cars after 41 minutes within a second of each other. Like it was at the beginning. This is exactly the order they started in. And it is still the order they are driving in right now. Well, I'm loving it at the moment. Let me know in chat what you think of it. And let me know in chat who you think at the end of the 3rd hour is going to come out on top. Well, then I think for now it is time for us to go to a lap around the track with Daniel Zoma. Well, that was a lap around this Silverstone circuit. And a quick lap it was, 58.434. A quickest lap for this team, but not the quickest lap overall. That's still held by the Valkyrie X-Type team. Of course, I'm interested to see what is going to happen once we get to the driver swap points, because I can imagine that with different drivers in, the pace difference might be different between these teams, so we might see it shift. So that could, well, throw a spanner in the works for being this close for 3 hours long, but I don't think we can be mad about the fact that for now, the first hour probably, we're going to see this fight brewing on, and, well, I don't think there's anywhere else where you will see this. It's absolutely amazing to see that these guys are fighting this close together with each other, not making any mistakes so far. Don't get me wrong, not making any mistakes so far. And they are still this close. It is very, very impressive, I think. And well, 2/10 is the gap now for the Valkyrie Exile team. They cannot get past. Why is that? Because, of course, the Gazax team Lamborghini has slipstream as well. So they don't have to worry. It's just the fact that they have slipstream as well, so they can't get past in the slipstream. Otherwise, I think the Valkyrie Exile would have been ahead of the Gazax team Lamborghini. I think the Gazax team Lamborghini is actually the slowest car here in this pack. Not by a lot, don't get me wrong. They are not slow at all. A 58.4 is not slow. But it depends the most on the slipstream, and maybe without it would be half a tenth or a tenth slower a lap. And over 10 laps, that is a second. And of course, with the slipstream, that is easily outdone. So that's why they are still this close, and that's why with the slipstream you can keep this close as well. Let me tell you, without slipstream in this world, people would have been, racing this closely would have been pointless, because you wouldn't gain any time on the straight, would you, if you were close enough to be in the slipstream, which Daniel Zoma is now. I expect he's not going to try anything stupid into Cops. He's not for the lead of the race. That does lose him some time, though, however. 3/10 going into Maggot's backwards is not bad. That is respectable. If you can keep this close, there might be a move on for the Gazax Racing team. Not quite. Lose a lot of time through the high speed. Gains that time back, though, in the low speed, does this Lamborghini. It seems like the Lamborghini is just a little bit better suited to the low speed corners. Both cars, of course, rear-engined. The gap behind this, though, is Martin Rey. This is a big, big battle. 4 places here. MRP is the leading group of this. Astro Racing Agenza Moderna involved. Absolute Motorsport Assalit 1 and Absolute Motorsport Assalit 2 is involved in it as well. We have him. This is Alessandro Porta. He loses a little bit of time now to the drivers ahead of him. 6/10 is the gap. What a battle this is. All Porsches. And you can see that in the race, the Porsche seems to be coming through again. Oh, big fuel saving by the Absolute Motorsport Assalit 1. Don't know if the Assalit 2 is doing exactly the same. Astro Racing Agenza Moderna is the car ahead of us. Ahead of that is the MRP Sim Racing in 5th. 8.8 seconds back on the Carbono Waka Esports team. who themselves are 7.8 seconds back of the Valkyrie X-Type team in P3. So there are quite big gaps there. But behind that is this battle that has been brewing on for quite a while now. The Accelerate Motorsport 2 has dropped down below the second, so that's going to keep losing now. Don't know what happened to that car. I don't know if it just had an amazing start or something has happened. But it is Alessandro Porta in that car. Nothing seems to have happened to that car. Well, we have one crash from Johnny Cassie. Here we go in the Ferrari. Oi, too deep into the corner. Oh, he keeps it. That's not really a crash, is it? Leandro Mendes also went off track. Oh, spin for the Rocker Race Team Green. This is the team that already spun in Cups once and they do it twice. Last time it was the orange team, this time it's the green team. But also having an off moment in Cups, the Rocker Esports teams not having a great evening here. And that is unfortunate for those teams. JP Broadcast said, who is this commentator? Sure, I've heard him before. I don't know. You might have heard me before. I might have done a couple of broadcasts on this channel and on JPP as well. But I don't know. Go and take a look, definitely, guys, at the JPP YouTube channel. Of course, it's where all the racing is. And where the most exciting broadcasts are. Also here on the Platinum Racing League YouTube channel. Next week, of course, we have the Platinum Endurance Championship finale. And we have a fierce championship fight going on there. Andrea Dalla Valle is in P7 now. This is the battle for P5 in this class. Looking at the battle still here at the front of the field. Antoine Morlet has dropped back a bit now. Is gaining back that time, but a purple lap time, a 58.4. That is only 3/10 off of what we were doing in qualifying with all tires and an empty fuel tank. Now 52 minutes gone in this race, and well, 2 more to go, 2 hours to go, and the gap still within a second of the top 3, like they started, exactly like the order they started. And that is, I think, absolutely amazing to see these guys go at it so closely. Now there's traffic in the way as well. Framparada having to deal with traffic. Daniel Zoma also having to deal with it in the Lamborghini. Is Antoine Morlet gonna get past? He is. That was quite unlucky there for Antoine, getting stuck there a little bit behind that traffic. Oh, unsettled the car a little bit into maggots and baggots. Doesn't get the best exit up to the straight either. Now maybe it is time for Daniel Zoma to try and attack. Euromaster Esports Porsche Framparada has been leading this race from start to now, basically. And we'll see if that is going to change in the pit stop cycle. Of course, a very long pit lane here at Silverstone. It looks like a short one, but the pit lane, of course, cuts this bit. And it's actually a very, very long one. The speed, 60 kilometers an hour in the pit lane here at Silverstone. I don't know what that is in miles an hour. But 60 kilometers, I don't know, somewhere around 40 something miles an hour, 42, 43, 48 maybe. I don't know, not so good with miles. I'm a European boy. I work with the metric system, so yeah, not so often with the miles. So, but 60 kilometers an hour, that is what the speed is in the pit lane. This is Astro Racing Agenza Moderna 810s to MRP Sim Racing in 5th, and there's 6th. The gap to P7 for them though, absolute absolute. 1 is only 3/10. Here are they. Astro Racing Agenza Moderna slowly working their way forward. They were quick in practice, not as quick here in the race it seems like. Carlos Morera de la Chica, 37 miles an hour. I was close with my 40 miles an hour, wasn't I, James? I was close enough there. Hugo Gonzalez in the BMW in P9. Still doing a tremendous job here in that BMW, the first BMW, by a long haul. Of course, the other BMW behind that is the leader in the AM class. And 15th overall is the Firebird Sim Racing team. And yes, it isn't spelled Firebird because that's the name the team gave us. That's how the team signed up. But the team is indeed the Firebird team. Of course, some technicalities with the team losing their points if they would change to a different team, which is changing their name. That is changing technically to a different team. So that's why the team cannot change their team name after they signed up. And they noticed it at the point where they were at the first race. So, well, that's one. You're at a point of no return. And that's why that is spelled that way. So, yeah, a misspelling there by the team, which made for quite a funny name. We have our first pit stoppers. Armamentario Racing Team goes into the pit lane from P14 in the Pro Class. And here you can see this long pit lane. When is the Euromaster Esports team gonna pit? Valkyrie XI has lost their time to GasX Team Lamborghini, is now almost outside of the second. If they're back into it, they can start gaining again. Daniel Zoma not under pressure anymore, whilst Destiny Racing Team PRL posts the fastest lap in the AM class. Had to wait a long time to get back onto the loud pedal there. Onto the throttle pedal is Daniel Zoma. Here is where Daniel Zoma gains most of his time. On exit though, that Porsche is quick. That's where he loses that time again. And of course the slipstream is helping him through that lap. 58.304 for the GasX Team Lamborghini. 0.002 of a second quicker than the team in first. An hour gone. This is still the gap between P1 and P2. And it has not changed since the start. This is basically the gap that Fran Parara made with having the ability to dictate when they were gonna go green. And ever since then, he's kept that gap and he's kept GasX Team Lamborghini behind him. He's kept up with the pressure. He's not let the pressure get to him. And because of that, he's now still in P1, 0.3 ahead of the GasX Team Lamborghini. Well, he's doing a good job at the moment on taking up that pressure from Daniel Zoma. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen once we're going to have the pit stops happening. A lot of teams are going to go into the pits now. Leader of the AM class, Firebird Sim Racing, up at the P10 overall now. That's of course due to mostly pit stoppers. as both Daniel Zoma and Framparada are improving again this lap. I think they're going to go for one more, and then they will head into the pit lane. If they can go for one more, because of course the tanks are only that big. They're definitely both going to go for one more. Framparada, what can he do? Can he improve this lap time? I'm quite... Valkyrie Exile goes into the pit lane, goes ahead for a couple of seconds. That's what I said. You cut across that last bit. If you go into the pit lane, 58.306, 2,000 slower than Daniel Zoma did last time round. That is absolutely close. If we go a little bit further back, this is the Destiny Racing Team PRL behind the Gazakh Team Mercedes, which is in third in the AM class. Müller at 200.7. Of course, the Gazakh Racing Team at the moment stuck behind P12 overall. This is the Absolute Motorsport Absolute 2. But that slipstream is handy for Marinko Jadanovski to save fuel. He wants to save fuel. And there he goes into the pit lane. How big is that big, please? Well, it depends on the car. You have some cars have a tank of 105 liters, some of 107. It depends really on which car you are running. Also, pit stoppers at the front of the field. Now, the front of the field though are continuing. Daniel Zoma, they are now well into traffic. They're now probably gonna pit. There we go, both into the pit lane. Daniel Zoma manages to go a lap longer. So that will come to one less pit stop in the end. Absolute Motorsport Absolute 1 into the pit lane as well. Rocker Esports Team Green into the pit lane as well. That team is not slow at all. They just didn't have the luck that they wanted, and they just have been making mistakes on their own. Of course, Daniel Zoma doesn't want to get stuck now behind the Mercedes. There we go, that's good for him. Gets the slipstream, gets the pass done. This is only helping him to get ahead of Framparada and the Euromaster Esports team. They're still in the pit lane. That's how long a pit stop takes here. Pit lane time already a minute. Only fuel 42 seconds is the gap now for Framparada. Goes back out immediately behind the Trackside Night Riders team. That is Vincent Ossem's in that car now. Daniel Zoma, where is he? He's already here at the back end of the track. 1 hour into this 3 hours of Silverstone. What a track this is, I have to say. One of the capitals of racing, if you look at it like that, because most of the F1 teams are based around here. It's a track where Formula 1 started, and yeah, it's an amazing track. The British fans, one of the best motorsports fans there are. As we see Daniel Zoma now get into the pit lane. We'll go with Euromaster Esports to see where they are in comparison to the Kazakh team Lamborghini. 2.6 kilometers is what they are behind in terms of distance to the Kazakh team Lamborghini. A bit of a snap there for Framparada. Coming out in traffic. This is costing him time. This is costing him valuable time compared to the Kazakh team Lamborghini. Pitting earlier maybe was the best option, because this is time that with half a second of a gap, He cannot afford to lose. It is still Famparata in that car though. Big snap once again for Famparata. Where is Daniel Zoma going to come out? He's been in the pit lane for 35 seconds already. Famparata, this is going to be close on exit. He's out now. I think Daniel Zoma's out. He's out of Famparata. This is the gap. Kazak's team Lamborghini has jumped Euromaster Esports in the pits. This is the gap. And that gap is actually quite big. The pit stop time is exactly the same as it was for Kazak's team Lamborghini. This gap has only been made by pitting later and being decisive through the traffic. Unlucky for the Euromaster Esports team on their out lap. And that's where you see in and out laps are so important. They are so important. And this time round, the Euromaster Esports team lacked a little bit of that out lap. In lap was good because it was half a second still to Kazak's team Lamborghini. But the in lap and the out lap for Kazak's team Lamborghini just a little bit quicker than it was for Euromaster Esports. Now we're going to see who the gap really belongs to, or who's really quicker. Of course, we have to see Mirko Bortolotti into this Lamborghini at the end of this second hour, because you do have to do driver swaps. Kerstens, he already has made his pit stop, also stayed in that BMW. Then after those driver swaps, new drivers came into the cars. The speed of certain cars is now going to switch into the difference, maybe into the hands of another car now. One car that is definitely still really quick. Marinko Yardanovsky in the Kazakh team Mercedes. Last time round managed to clock a 202.0. Quickest lap at 200.8 in fourth. He still is. 2:10 is the gap though for Ramon Serra and Guillermo Costa Reis for Protosim Esports and Esports Blue, MBG Esports Blue. Of course, their red team not having the best day here. They're quite far down the order. Can Ramon Serra try and make that pass on Protosim Esports? After such a successful first hour of the race for them in P3 now, 24 seconds the gap is though to the Firebird Sim Racing team. So that's quite a gap to close in an hour time. Not impossible at all, but it is a gap that is very big in order for them to close. It's a big task, but in 2 hours time that's definitely possible. Let's see how their pace is gonna fare, or is going to be against the others. They might fear that it's going to drop off. They might think that it's going to get better. Ramon Serra, different lines compared to the Protosim Esports team, compared to Guillermo Costa. Is that going to help him? At the moment it is not. Not quite able to be close enough to get up to the inside. It doesn't seem like Ramon Serra is going to go for it. Porsches seem to be well represented in the Pro class. Six Porsches in the top 8. Only one Audi and only one Lamborghini in it. That one Lamborghini, though, is leading it. 4 seconds is the gap to the Euromasters Porsche. This is the closest battle we have on track for you at the moment. And this is the battle for P2 in the AM class. And this battle has been going on for quite a while now. Last lap time by the MBG Esports Blue car, 201.8. That's quite a far bit off of the quickest lap time. And that might be because they're held up by Protosim Esports. There we go, pulls to the inside of Guilherme. And there we go, down the inside. Guilherme. Costa is now down into P3 in the BMW. And MBG Esports Blue can now try and hunt down the Firebird Sim Racing team. Last lap at 202.3. Let's see what they can do now. Once they are in clean air, of course, they had to make that pass. But after that pass, you can see immediately starting to gap the Protosim Esports BMW. So for them, it's good they got past. This is another battle on track. This is the Platinum Racing Academy team ahead of the MBG Esports. This is the red car from them. Like I said, not having the best day. They're in 7th in the AM class. 24th overall. Absolute Motorsport Athlete Junior. As a pro team, down in P25, as this Platinum Racing Academy team. Not having the best days there. Of course, in that car is Nick Kerstens now in the Mercedes. So he's trying to make up some time to Cormado Fondao as well. Nick Kerstens is going to go for a move probably here around the outside of the Porsche. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. He's going to swing around the outside. There's almost contact between the two. Luckily for both of them, there is no contact. And Nick Kerstens can try and hunt down now the Destiny Racing team. PRL ahead of him. 1.7 seconds is the gap. Beautiful move, though, by the Platinum Racing Academy team driver. Don't know if that will earn him a spot in the proper team. But they're doing their best, of course, in the Academy team. As an Academy driver, it almost seems like there's more pressure on your shoulders to perform well, to show what you can do. I don't know if that adds to the pressure of wanting to finish well yourself as well. It's of course extra pressure that these drivers have to deal with, but it also makes you, I think, a stronger racing driver mentally if you're able to cope with that pressure. 1.5 seconds is the gap, closing rapidly on the BMW of the Destiny Racing Team PRL. Nick Kerstens definitely showing himself to Platinum Racing Team what he can do here in that Mercedes. He's really quick, reeling the Destiny Racing Team PRL team in. Gap already almost down below a second. Last lap time for Nick Kerstens, a 201.9. Of course, that was with an overtake in it. Nick Kerstens, what can he do this time round? Let's see. He's going to have slipstream as well here. I'm going to go on board with the young Dutchman. Here we go. He's going to pull to the inside. He's going to show himself. Not quite going to go for a move. Did put the Destiny Team PRL BMW off. He's going to get a better exit now here. Let's see what he can do this time round. In clean air, with a little bit of slipstream. There we go with 201.143. Not too bad there by Nick Kerstens, of course. All tires on that car probably. A very quick car this could prove to be. Could still try and overtake a couple of AM cars that is ahead of this. 7.2 seconds, of course, is the gap to the GazX Team Mercedes. Both in the same cars. So there's no excuse of saying he has a quicker car than me. They are in the same cars. And it's just the drivers and the setup that makes the difference. And of course, in my eyes, setup is also work that has to be done by the drivers. So that also makes you as a driver. Setup is definitely a thing that drivers has an impact on. And if the setup is not good, it is not the car that didn't do well. It's you that didn't make the setup to your liking and to your teammates' liking. So you're slow with it. Or you're slower with it. No one is slow, you're slower with it. Excuse me for that, but it's a tricky well, it's a tightrope you're walking on, and it's never easy to well, let's say get it all correct. Nick Kerstens now is closing on the Destiny Racing Team PRL. A bit deep there, and Nick is gonna get a better exit here out of Chapel. There we go. He's gonna tuck into that slipstream with the better exit. I don't think he's going to be able to go for a move right now. It would be a bit of a send if he goes for it now. Doesn't go for it. But of course, every second he's losing behind this BMW is a second too much for him, probably. Of course, the Destiny Racing Team BMW has picked up the pace a little bit this time around as well. Let's get a better exit for Nick Kerstens. Seems to be the man of the good exits. 201.5. Can't quite get close enough to the back of the BMW to try and make a move. Let's look a little bit further up the field. Here we have Juan Rodriguez defending from Nazakush. Difficult name to pronounce that one, but 201.1 last time round for Nazar. And he's going to try and overtake the leader of the AM class. If he can do so though, because it isn't an easy task overtaking the leader of the AM class. Because they have been very, very quick, especially in the same car. He's going to go for it now, he's going to show himself. He's not going to let him by easily. He doesn't have to fight this, does Juan Rodriguez. You could just let him by and hang in the slipstream if he thinks that he's quicker. If he, of course, doesn't think he's quicker. Well, then you could argue that he should fight this one because it's going to lose him time on the long haul if he lets him pass now. And also, it's a buffer for Firebird Sim Racing to MBG Esports Blue. If they get close and if they can go for a move, they first have to get past 2 pro car classes. Or they first have to get past 2 pro class cars. That's what I wanted to say. Armamentario Racing Team chasing down the Firebird Sim Racing Team. Let's Just gonna where we leave it, this battle for a moment. Although we'll wait until the end of this straight. Good exit for the Armamentario Racing Team. This is the 046 USA NL team in 32nd overall. This is a close battle on track. This is the Valhalla Motorsports team going up the inside of the Trackside Esports Orange. Trackside Esports Orange going around the outside rather of the Valhalla Motorsports Lamborghini. One hour, 20 minutes into this race, almost halfway there. Almost halfway through the 3 hours of Silverstone. Around the outside goes Matthew Wyckoff. Of course, led the Valkyrie X-Type team past.